as much. The fact that they were able to secure that victory royale, it's as close as ever. But Zeke, if we're going to talk about Shark and Teeny, there's one person that we also had to make sure to get a little bit of insight from, a true shark connoisseur, some would even say, and that is the one and only Boop. His only comments, the one words that he wanted to make sure Shark knew, was after their conversation, after how Summit went, and Boop telling me about how Shark felt something he never wanted to feel ever again. When Shark puts his mind to it, he is the best player in the world. Those are words of confidence out of Boop, and I think they're also words that the rest of the community would be very inclined to stand by, especially with the way that they're able to manifest these victory royale performances when they are this close in contention for that match point format. So it's time to be great, because with the way that Vico and Malabuka are looking, they want that back-to-back.
I know, and that's the thing, right? In that situation, the pressure was already at a certain level, but now we're at that match point status, right? So can Shark and Teeny be that team? Can they step up to the plate when the pressure is at its, like, the stage of the competition is at its most difficult?
I think that's what makes it so complicated, though, because you see the likes of Vico off to the side constantly, every single match. It doesn't matter the result, doesn't matter if it's a win, as long as there's eliminations and a solid placement, we see the good vibes. We know that Vico and Malabuka are a duo renowned for having such strong vibes between each other, and that chemistry can do dividends in these types of environments.
Absolutely, and I mean, obviously, if we're talking about Vico and Malabuka, Vico, for a moment there, he was, at the very beginning of the day, super stoic. Kind of like the Vico I'm not used to seeing. The locked-in Vico, quiet, focus. Now we've got super vibes Vico. He's good, he's dancing. He got second place, and some might, you know, be upset or be like, man, what a tough moment. I didn't get that VR. Vico's dancing, he's emoting, he's feeling good. I love that. I also love Boop, by the way. Shout out to you. Kiss, kiss, ciao, ciao. With that being said, though, it's time. More action here from EWC.
Here we go. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, strap in, because we are about to witness one of the most exciting ends to a Fortnite tournament, because we have got 3 potential teams in contention to cross that 350-point threshold. We got Vico dancing in his booth. We've got Shark and Teeny dancing to victory in the game. And then we got Skyjump and Momsy, who just, unfortunately, stumbled whilst trying to do their dance moves in that last game. Who's going to strut their stuff here in the 8th game of the day? This is really where it starts to get real, and we really get to understand and decide which one of our teams, or which multiple of our teams, we're going to be taking a look at for this match point potential. Already off to a good start, though, is Teeny and Shark. Teeny getting one already. Huge shot again there onto Bolts. RPG in hand. What's Bolts going to be able to do about it? Blocks it well. Teeny looking to hit another one, and does. That's huge right there. Down goes Bolts. Teeny still in this game, still alive, and just hitting so many great shots right there with the Mammoth pistol. I mean, this is really where it starts to get real, MDF. We could have 3 teams making it over that 350-point threshold here in this game.
I'm just getting back. I'm sitting down. I'm seeing what's going on. They're off to a hot start, already starting to, again, continue to march their way towards that threshold. Izzy Nosif very much on that same tune as well. 247, it's a good spot to be in. Let's see, Shark and Teeny finds Izzy Nosif as we kind of tee it up here. He's got such a lead on him. Very nicely done. Good finish there. And back to the action here. Teeny's on his teammate, though. Nosif's got to be careful.
Especially very careful. This is awkward for Izzy and Nosif, getting pushed from 2 different angles from Shark and Teeny. Goofy there down in the feed as well. It's just been bad to worse for those guys. At the bottom end of the leaderboard, Mud's actually hitting a huge shot there onto Malabuka. Looks as though Malabuka surely will end up going down in that particular fight, and that's disastrous, because look, Vico's just gone down as well. Could this be our second place team out? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that's our first place team. I beg your pardon, out.
What happened?
Now,
Who killed?
of the lobby. That is not good at all. Both of them went down individually. And Vico Malabuka.
Where did he start?
Oh, Vico.
Hitting?
hasn't got much to dance about anymore.
Whoa. Hello now. Hello. Mammoth Pistol from Z-Dog. Downrange will be finishing off Peterbot there. That's how quickly your story can change, by the way. Take a look. Sky Jump takes down Vico simultaneously as Malibu gets hunted down at the Dirty Docks. I mean, you just can't make that up. That's so unfortunate. Mud's under some serious pressure right now. Sharks just seeming to be on a heater now. That's their 5th elimination.
Fully down.
Now officially taking the lead here with Victor Royales and, of course, the point threshold. I mean, at this pace, they will be at 350, exiting match 8, gearing up to close out the tournament for the evening.
Wow, what a start for Shark and Teeny. It'd be very easy just to start slowly in this game when you only need 30 points.
Just the end game?
Yeah, and just play end game, right? But yeah, they're already getting off to a hot start. Peterbot and Poyo, hot and cold really today. I feel like we've seen what's underneath the Peterbot aura. We've seen them showing what they can do, what he can do individually as well. But then also we've seen some of the chinks in their armor, some of the weaknesses in their gameplay here on Reload as well.
Yeah, I mean, last game they were definitely going for another win. They went for high ground. They were really putting it all out there. Not sure how, again, Peterbot misjudged, kind of sliding off. That momentum seemed to have carried him straight into fall damage, unfortunately. Even he was obviously taken aback. That calculation wasn't quite accurate, but with that, they lose, I don't know, a good amount of points. They could have otherwise been around the 380 range, right? A little closer.
Yeah.
But it sets them back nonetheless. Shark and Teeny just full on offense though. 5 elims right now. And again, playing it as a duo. Not doing the safety strats like you see some of these other teams opting to split, but more so saying, hey, let's just land here. Let's push together. And they're taking fights very comfortably, very confidently, if you will, against duos on the map. Acorn's going to be spotted out there, continuing to remain, unfortunately, in 20th place here. Peterbot's back in the game after that short stint to the side. Finds Scroll there. There's a reason he runs Mammoth. There's a reason he's regarded as one of the most well-rounded players in the world.
I'd love to know the stats on how many times Falcons have eliminated AGL today. I feel like they've just been going head-to-head all day. It's like they know. It's like they know it's each other. Well, very similar to the club championship standings as well.
It's more about how far ahead you can come at the end of the day. So right now, Falcons is surely in the lead here. Sky and Scroll have a long way to go. They'll need to get at least 2 big end games to be in contention. But Peterbot back after Scroll here, trying to finish the job. This is really bad. So Scroll's down. We already knew Sky was taken out, which means he's left even worse for wears as well. Another team could potentially just look to hunt them at this point.
Yeah, it's been so strange from Sky and Scroll, but should we be surprised with how they've been playing this entire week? You know, it's sort of resting on our laurels of like, yeah, they'll get good, they'll come good. Unfortunately, not being the case. Peterbot and Poyo.
Hit it, please.
Just being able to dominate in a lot of these fights. As Scroll is just trying to escape. Peterbot investing a lot of those overdrive grenades to try and make his way over, trying to seek him out inside of that little hut. Not going to be found there, though. And that's where the game becomes a little bit of hide and seek. For Scroll, it's all about hiding. But unfortunately for him right now, it's all about taking a lot of damage as well. Deep inside of the storm, these guys are fighting it out. Peterbot still trying to hit shots. Hasn't got the means to get over there, so I think that's why he's just sort of turned around and decided against it. Teeny getting into Izzy's box. Nice shot there. Shark goes down in the process, though. That was to Izzy, so they're going to be able to get the revive here, you have to imagine. Nobody in the vicinity. That was important there from Teeny to put the team on his back slightly and clutch up in that fight.
Second time I've seen it today. Nicely done. Z-Dog, Goofy, 115 here. 2 eliminations, so having a bit of a better game. See how Pixie Sousa can do here. Still haven't earned any points right now. 222, the overall threshold. Kind of slipped down on the overall standings here. Golden Rapids slowly starting to get back into things. 201 for them. Looking at the leaderboards, Victor V. Canada with another back-to-back endgame there. Jumps them up to top 7. Swizzy and Pixie are close on their heels in 8th, so just a couple elims and they'll jump right over that team.
Steamy Stacks, looking like this is going to be where the zone's going to pull right here. Goofy and Z-Dog. It's just been, mentally it must be really difficult for them because they started strongly, as you mentioned, 5th place at the beginning of the day, and just have been slowly slipping away as the day has gone on. Oh, goodness, look at that zone. It's like 70% of it is in the water. It's absolutely ridiculous. So
I think the worst was our first day, though. We had the first zone just off the map completely. Like, it was quite the zone. I felt like we were about due for some silos in game, so Steamy Stacks is going to keep things interesting for us. It's kind of cool. Day 1, we did get that Steamy Stack zone, and a lot of like teams actually preferred not to go up for the stacks.
yeah.
It was only towards the end when folks tried to play for retakes. We'll see if that's going to be different here today. Good amount of.
What the fuck? Fortnite.
So when another team falls, this is going to give Cold and Rapid a chance now to basically be in top 10 for the first time of the evening.
Yep, opportunity. I feel like this game is a little bit of a quicker pace than that last one. Remember in 7th zone last time, we still had all 20 of our duos and all 40 of our players, right? So lots more action early game here. Quite unfortunate for the likes of Vico and Malabuka as well. Difficult situation, same with Muzz and Sphinx. And Shark and Teeny, we've seen them in this position before, trying to launch pad in from deep. Oyo and Peterbot, they're direct rivals, you have to say, right below them.
Look up, look up. Just look up.
Use that
The guys
pistol.
you need to take out are right there. Mumsy, though, and his duo seem to have been pressuring Peterbot and Boya on the outskirts. Look at that. They end up turning back. So they need to find a new angle.
Remember that earlier on. They went deep inside of the storm. Shark went down. It set their game off completely in the wrong direction. This time, they don't want to take that big risk. Big change in how they're approaching this, in terms of mentally as well. This is the sort of team you think, yeah, they're just going to go for height. They're going to put themselves in the best position. They put themselves in the safest position right there. They understand and respect the rest of the lobby. They understand their position as well. What is that, 30, 24 points until that 350 mark. So, you know, it's not a huge amount for a team like Shark and Teeny. They can do that with eliminations on their own if they want to.
And last leg.
So, more than possible.
Peter Patata. What?
Are out.
No.
Mixed reactions from the crowd. Falcons fans are disappointed. I hear some cheers from other areas as well.
What the fuck is this?
What happened?
I mean, I'm looking at the overall map. There's still 3 duos that were inside the storm. So those couple of shots that came in from pretty much Momsy sitting on the edge of storm looking inwards and sky jump there forced them to kind of park down. They try to wait it out.
Yeah.
But I think the teams that were coming in late found them there. That's a rough spot to be in. They had every opportunity just now to really get back in and keep that catalyst going, keep that momentum running. But now they're surely behind here. It's looking like a 3-way, pretty much a 3-way race between Shark, Teeny, Vico, Malabuka, Skyjump, and Mumsy now. Everyone else is going to need at least 2 games to catch up.
Yeah, I mean, very unorthodox way that Shark and Teeny maybe have done it today, but yeah, they look like the most likely team now to break into that 350-point plus mark and then potentially take it in the very next game. All depends on how well they play right there. We've seen the best of them, we've seen the worst of them as well. So which are we going to get in this game? They got to get there first, and of course the rest as well. As you hear that countdown ticking on down, is the noise that you don't want to hear if you're in a fight, because reboots have now been disabled.
Okay, hear me out though. Shark and Teeny don't make an end game right now, right? If they fall short, fall shy, this is easily going towards a game 10. But what will happen is anyone from that 5th through 9th place, 5th through 11th even, we go as far as Romero and Lua, can jump up and at least be in contention for closing out game 10, and then everyone kind of being in the same threshold range. So really just depends on how well they play during this game, if whether or not we'll see a breakaway on the standings. Nosif, Izzy have a chance to do it, but Nosif is going to fall first, crashing and crumbling under the pressure of Darman Dennis. And now they're pushing in. Demas has already secured the loot from Nosif. Izzy greedily goes in for the med kits.
We've seen you do it before, Izzy. We saw you do it yesterday.
He's done it too much.
Solo clutch, he's done it, but he's proved that he can do it. Albeit this is a lot earlier on. Let's see that magic. Oh.
Called it too soon. They get caught out on the move there. I'm looking at Cold and Rapid, positioned by the silo. Sharkantini not too far from them. Acorn Bolt trying to make their desperate move inside. It's a good exchange of blows there. That could have gone either way had the Mammoth shot landed, though. Coming to a halt here. Pixie, Swizzy, kind of eyeing up the surrounding areas. Again, this is all around the silo. Completely indestructible, mind you.
Yep.
Some early shockwaves from Sharkantini. They're really trying to position themselves as, again, leaders on the rotates, leaders on the high ground as well. Even if it's not committing to the ultimate height, they're still kind of up there.
Well, this is big. Sharkantini now find themselves in those placement points. Skyjump Momsey, the team that's just behind them there in third place. Remember, Vico Malabuka went down early on in this game. Bolts and Acorn, hello. They're in the lobbies. They want to show us that they're still here to play. Because remember, even if they're not in the position to win this whole thing, there's still lots of money, lots of prizing on the line for even breaking outside of that bottom of the leaderboard. So, big opportunity here for Bolts and Acorn to show us what they're really about. Momsey and Skyjump, completely different end of the leaderboard, completely different objective for them. That's just to get over that 350-point threshold. Same as Sharkantini, getting themselves to the front side of zone right now. 7 eliminations so far for them. They've been really active earlier on in this game, but also playing safe as it gets towards these later stages of the competition. And, of course, this particular game.
Yeah, this game, they're playing so differently. Instead of going for high ground, where before they seem to have been in the race to try to earn as much as possible, they're playing it very, very safe right now, trying to secure placement points first. Saw a little glimpse of Kanata Victor V, Momsey, Skyjump. These are strongly positioned teams right now, kind of in this end game. New zone's going to reveal itself. It's already on the move here. Josh Niamzo alive, still in the end game. Lua Romero, Goofy barely holding on here. Acorn and Bolts are going to go down. Sky and Scroll fall as well to Momsey and Skyjump. And they are just heating up. These are important points being earned right now.
Oh.
Wow. That's a lot of damage.
Absolutely, beam right there in the process. Momsey does have med kits in his inventory, but look who's decided to try and take height as well. Hari and Cammy, they're up on top right now. Goofy and Z-Dog down and out. They really do need it. They need to make up a lot of these points. Remember, 4th place right now, so huge opportunity for them to climb up the standings. If it's not going to be this game, maybe the next game they can break into that 350-point mark. Momsey, though, down. Oh, no. Disastrous here for the French guys. Skyjump needs to do it all alone. His objective right now, his main goal is to get into that 350-point plus mark. Teeny and Shark, 12 points behind. Need to get into it, need to try and take it for themselves. They'll be hoping that Skyjump Momsey go out this game.
12 points is what they need right now to get into 350 match point range. They are on their way at the moment. Still 12 duos remaining as well. All they need is a couple of elims and a few placement points. It'll just basically happen depending on the next engagement here. You gotta be careful though, these are their builds. Skyjump on the other side knows and recognizes that he needs placement point as well. I love this play to stay in the storm a little bit longer. Cammy and Hari still have high ground. This is going back towards the silo on the outskirts here. Team's alive right now. Swizzy, Pixie, Kanata, Victor V, Cold and Rapid still in this game too. Shark has fallen. That's going to be because Iamzo was right above him. It's all up to Teeny. Teeny gets faded. 347 Mini.
3 more points for Teeny.
One more play.
And then a win in the next game. 3 more points is all you need, my friend.
Minimal.
Minimal. 1 placement, really. An elimination. Can he find it? Or are we going to go to yet another game? Getting pressure though from Victor V and Kanata on the same box. 200 wood. Trying to play out as much as possible. He needs other teams to fall on through. Popping the big pot as well to try and make himself as healthy as possible. Cammy there goes down. Must have been the 4 damage there. which is not ideal for them all the way up on height.
They got it.
They got it.
A team falls. It's Cammy. It's Swizzy who's down. Teeny has broken through the threshold, punched his fist through that ceiling, and now the rest will be history. We'll see how it goes. Skyjump hiding in the box. Skyjump still going for it. He's at 336. He needs 14 points to remain in this race as well, to stay in that point threshold range going into the final games. Kanata, Victor V, very hurt but not out just yet. Pablo and Chino have high ground. They exchange blows, and down goes Skyjump there. On high ground, though, is just Hari here. Demis is still in the game. Lua and Romero coming back into the fight. Chino hits Romero, and he is very, very hurt.
Hari now needs a solo clutch his way into contention. Remember, Shark and Teeny are in that threshold, so it all comes down to this for Shari. 20 HP, can only take 2 ticks of the storm. Really not ideal at all. And Hari goes down. Mini Pollo is down there with Fukun as a duo. Liwa and Romero looking to get themselves back in contention as well. 251 points for them. It's a duo versus a solo. As we see Dom and Demush there down on low ground. Mini Pollo trying to do anything and everything to make it happen. Now it's a 2v2.
Lua Romero, 6 eliminations for Lua. Romero has 1. Who will get the final one? It is going to be Lua, locking things up and putting them away. What a round. They spring and leapboard their way well into the top 5, as do other teams. So many teams right now are in that 250 to 280 range, roughly a game away from potential points.
One team on my boat.
All eyes are on Shark and Teeny, who are officially now just moments away potentially. All they need is a victory, and they can end this tournament early.
What I will say, though, is a lot of those teams from sort of 5th to 10th, they've now put themselves in contention as well. Of course, they can't win the tournament from this next game, but maybe all they need is this next game to be good to them, put themselves in that 350-point mark. So if it's not Game 9, if Shark and Teeny don't win Game 9, we could be looking at multiple teams going into Game 10 with over 350 points. Liwa Romero, 272 you saw there at the end, so another 80 points or so away from that threshold. But like I mentioned earlier, even if it's not going to be for them, still a huge amount of points to gain in that last game, just to push them up in those standings. You see Shark and Teeny there as well. Hands on the head for Shark. Woo!
He's trying to lock in right now, trying to channel everything that he can to stay focused here and push through to the end. You got to think about it. He did just enough, literally.
Yeah.
Just enough to be right on that line to go ahead and open up the potential here. Now the real question is, with Momsy and Skyjump so close, you have 2 options here. Play it extremely passive and try to go for the win.
Yep.
Or push the lead that you have, knowing that after this next game, Skyjump will likely jump up in, and now it's a 2-horse race until everyone else, you know, has their next game, and then play for the win, right? Because it's like one of those things you can't really count it out, but at the same time, you don't want to not be in first either.
How do you approach it? I mean, it's new for these guys as well, right? We haven't had match point like this ever, and it's never been reached. We had it somewhat sort of a pseudo match point, never actually got reached. Too high of a points threshold.
Well, even that game, they went 7 elims in the first couple zones.
Yeah.
They played all out, very, very aggressively, and then kind of played their end game. But it's because they needed to get to the point threshold. But they don't need that anymore. They don't have to play like that.
Great job they did. If they didn't do that, they would have needed another game.
Yeah, that's
to go ahead and do it, right? So, yeah, huge. Vico Malabuka, though, falling early in that game.
Oh, right.
We're going to be really sad about that. 320 points that they are sat on right there, literally last place. 20th, 0 eliminations. Might as well have gone and made a cup of tea and had a bite to eat instead of playing that game, because you would have got the same amount of points. So, can they step up to the plate? What will Shark and Teeny do? Will they take out their immediate competition off Spawn? Will they start to mess around a little bit? Because realistically, the most important thing for them is that Skyjump and Momsy don't get over that threshold.
And Vico and Malabuka.
But Vico Malabuka don't get over that threshold. Doesn't matter about points anymore.
Well, they're really close. I know we got Zeke standing by to give us some more insight, and that's what I want to hear about.
Thank you so much, Monster. You are right. We have Shark and Teeny here. They just hit match point in that last game. Guys, here we are, finally on match point. You just need another win, pretty easy. At this point, you guys have so many wins. Is it easy? Is it gonna be easy to just go in? Are you gonna win this next game right here, right now?
I mean, I don't know, we'll see.
What do you think? Is it gonna happen, Shark? Are you gonna win right here, right now, or is it just a we'll see?
We'll see.
I love that, farm the aura. Guys, obviously, you know, you've heard a lot from Boop. You guys are pretty tight with him. Shark, I'd love you to just look into the camera and just say something very nice to Boop right here.
Thank you for everything, bro.
I love that. Heartwarming. TD, to win right here, right now, would that just be like everything? What would you feel if you won it now?
I mean, it would be great, yeah. Amazing.
I love that, guys. And obviously, now that you have hit match point, pressure's going to be on. Do you think teams are going to maybe look to land on you? Are you guys going to maybe do something different to make sure that doesn't happen?
What was the question?
Are you going to do something different?
No.
Keep it all the same. I love that. They're locked in. They are focused on this next win. They are on match point. We'll have to see how it all goes.
Matches right now. We are going to be going to that 9th match. Could end up happening here, Vivid.
7, oh my gosh, that game was like a nail biter for so many different reasons. Obviously, the most pertinent one was whether or not Shark and Teeny were actually going to go ahead and cross the threshold that they need to kind of activate that match point. Me and Levin, we were getting mad. We were like, no way he doesn't get the 3 more points they need. But yes, they ended up hitting it perfectly. And it's crazy because if they're just 1 point off of that, you just subtract 1 point, it changes this next game. It changes the whole competition entirely.
And we know, we already saw some people changing their drop spots. We can expect that again for this game as well. But you're totally right. For Teeny to clutch out those extra 3 points in the final moment as a solo in the water, it was absolutely crazy. Cammy and Carrie also were really close to being able to get to that 350-point threshold, but just barely missing out. But 7, we have so many teams that are going to be looking to possibly put a stop to the run of Shark and Teeny, but is the blood still in the water? Are they going to still keep going? I don't know if there's really anyone that can stop this run.
I don't know. I'm there with you because of the performance that we have seen from this duo, not just today, but going back to their actual groups. They were able to get so many victory royales. Today they have shown that they can still do it as well. And the one thing that we kind of been keeping track throughout today is that high ground. This is a team that usually excels that. We really haven't seen that much contest, the high ground being contested as much. If we see them in the high ground, it could end up finishing.
Yeah, could of course get crazy. I won't lie though, guys. I feel like Shark and Teeny have what I like to call a little bit of a freebie in this next game, right? They are the only team that can kind of win the game. And what I mean by a freebie, I mean, it's not going to be a lot of pressure on them, right? They can just kind of go out. They don't have to worry about any other team winning the game to kind of end the competition early. That being said, when we do take a look at the leaderboard, there are plenty of teams that are very, very close to 350 points now. So let's just say the Shark and Teeny don't win this next game. You got to imagine other teams are going to cross 350 points. And then the next game after this next one, then it's going to be pressure on.
I mean, during that interview, oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, it is a bit of a freebie, but also it kind of leaves a big question mark, right? If they don't end up winning it in this next one, as we can see there on the overall with what you were alluding to, we do have Skyjump, Mamsi. Very close by. We have Vico and Malibuca as well, very close by as well.
Man, when I was speaking of Carrie and Cammy, I actually meant Skyjump and Momsy that were so close, 336 points right there. Although it was Carrie and Cammy that were on high ground doing a pretty good job right there. So to see them jump up into 4th place, I think that they're well within contention of breaking into that 1st place spot. But Skyjump, Momsy, Vico, Malibuca, so many of these teams are so close and just need not even a good game, honestly, just a handful of eliminations to break into that point threshold.
Vivid, I'm going to be looking at number 7 there, Falcons, because not just what we have seen today, the bounce back out of this duel, but also with everything that's going on with the club championship, we've seen them today get close to 100 points in just one match, and we see Peter Bod and Pollo being able to clutch it in big moments.
Exactly what I wanted to talk about, right? It feels obvious that if you take a look at 4th place, right, 303 points, 3rd place, 320 points, 2nd place, 336 points. Yeah, they can get to 350 pretty easily, but it is possible. If you go all the way down, I mean, heck, Swizzy and Pixie from 249, I wouldn't put it past them to be able to have such a big game that they could get up to 300 350 as well. So many other teams that Sharkantini might be counting out could really enter match point in a blink of an eye.
And listen, NA West also representing there, Victor V and Kanata. If we want to talk about a comeback, they have been doing absolutely incredible since we've moved to Slurp Rush, winning 2 games in game number 6, and now also coming out on top. To see them beating out the likes of Peterbot and Poyo, I don't know if that was necessarily going to be on anyone's bingo card right now, but just taking a look at the second page right now, we do still have some big names there. Of course, we're starting to, I mean, we've definitely passed the halfway point now. I don't know necessarily if they're going to be able to do anything to climb up too much of the leaderboard, but still, we do have a lot of these teams that are still just trying to gain any amount of points for their club.
Yeah, and for Sharkantini, you can see it right there. The threshold was 350 points, which has been met by that duel. The next thing they need to do is just get a victory royale and they'll be able to become champions. It could finish in this next one. Talking back about the club championship, AGL, just Sky and Scroll have not been able to perform. Something that we're also talking about is sometimes when you get to the later stages of the finals here, you tend to see teams that got absolutely nothing to lose do a little bit of BM to those teams that have everything to gain.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, AGAL, that's going to be kind of where my eyes are being peeled towards. And it's kind of crazy because Sharkantini, by what feels like not winning this next game, kind of keeps Sky and Scroll in it for their club in general, right? Because obviously Sky and Scroll are a little bit further down the leaderboard than Falcons are right now. So Sky and Scroll need as many opportunities as they possibly can to rise up that leaderboard, because the stakes, what it means for everything, even outside of Fortnite specifically, is so much.
It's possible. There's possibilities. We've seen teams that were all the way in the bottom half, if not the bottom quarter, being able to get out a win. I mean, it was, you know, Kanata and Victor V were not having a great performance, and then they were able to get like a 100-point game. This is definitely possible. Now, is it probable? That I'm not too certain about. We have just seen such domination from Sharkantini, and after that interview, it doesn't even look like they're nervous they're on match point. It looks like this is just a normal day of Fortnite, and we're all just playing their game.
It looks just like that, too. You were talking about teams that were able to bounce back, too. One team that comes to mind is T1. T1 has been performing quite well. Dharma and Demas, that's one team that we were keeping a close eye on when they were in the second page because of what we saw out of them on Survival, and right now we're starting to see exactly what we expected out of them here in Match Point Finals.
Yeah, the bounce back has been multiple times now where they didn't have the best group stages and then absolutely dominated the survival stages, and I was kind of interested in how that would translate finally into the finals, and it seems to be a bit of a mixed bag, starting off strong, then having a few weak games, but definitely seems to be kind of finding their footing a little bit more.
Yeah, again, I mean, Dharma and Demas have without a doubt showed us their ceiling, how well they can actually play, but the consistency has been a problem for them. That being said, I know they're kind of in range of that 350-point mark if they do have one of those really good games that we have seen from them throughout the week. So fingers crossed for T1.
Yeah, for T1, I mean, they just want to make sure they stay within the top 8 as well. Because, yeah, we're talking about who can actually win that club championship. But there's just so much money at stake as well for Aurora. For Aurora right now, I believe they're sitting in 10th place on the club championship. If they actually end up getting this win right here, they would jump up by 1,000 points. And that could mean a difference from, I think, $600,000 all the way up to $3 million.
No pressure, man. I mean, that is absolutely crazy. You know, I was saying that they weren't feeling nervous. Hopefully they weren't listening to you just say that, because that would add some nerves to me. But you know what? I think for Sharkantini, this isn't necessarily about playing for the club. I don't think this is necessarily even about playing for them. I think that they're just playing Fortnite, and this to them is just what they want to do.
Listen, Seven, I want to see them, honestly. There's reasons that I would like to see every single team win. I feel like for Sharkantini, the reason why I would like to see them win, I want to see just a little bit of a smile on one of their faces. That's what I'm kind of hoping for.
I think we have gotten a glimpse of it, right? We have gotten more emotion out of them in this last matches than we have seen in group stages. That's for sure, because remember what was happening within Shark and Teeny. Whenever Teeny was going out very early on, at least we were getting some kind of emotion there out of Shark, whether it was aggravated or not. And in this one, I'm hoping that if they do end up finishing here in the next match, oh, those tears of joy might come out.
Obviously, the emotions aren't the only thing that Shark and Teeny are going to have to continue to control. Whether or not teams are actually going to switch up their game plans. Obviously, Zeke had the opportunity to ask Sharkatini, hey, are you guys going to do anything to kind of combat anything that the other teams might be doing? They said no, they're going to stick to exactly what they have been doing. So technically speaking, there are possibilities for teams to kind of lean into what they already know about Sharkatini and just play against that. But if there was one team that was playing here today, if there's one team in the world in general that was probably the hardest to go ahead and try to counter-strat, it's probably Sharkantini.
Listen, you're talking about you want to see a Sharkantini smile. Have you seen a shark smile? That is absolutely terrifying, and they're already petrifying on the floor right now. I don't think we need to see any smiling giant rows of teeth from Shark right there. I think he's exactly where he wants to be. He is, you know, he's laying under the radar. He wants to be slow. He doesn't want anyone to give any attention to him, and I think for Sharkantini, this might be their game.
If you see a smile from Shark, that will mean it might just be game over. As we're looking at some of the other duels, right, where we're talking about contestant at the beginning, and we saw a lot of that in this last one, right? Which is one duo that comes to mind that might actually end up contesting Sharkantini, knowing that they're now at match point.
Yeah, listen, obviously we saw a bunch of all-spawn fights kind of going on that game. Usually it depends on the bus path, but for one of the teams that did end up going down early, we didn't get to specifically see it, Vico and Malabuka. They could have been on match point equally with Sharkantini this game, but because they went down early, 0-point game there for them, unfortunately, they are still on 320. So again, one of those teams that can cross the threshold now, but still a lot of work to do in denying Sharkantini that win.
It could end here, or we could end up going one more match. Stay tuned, because it's about to get even spicier here at Fortnite Reload Championship at EWC 26. Barney, over to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Gadia City Grid has been home to some of the most iconic moments at the 2026 Esports World Cup.
I mean, it's been 7 weeks, so many games, so many stuff happened on this stage, and a lot of story to just remember. So many clutch, so many good memories here. It's gonna be weird to not be here tomorrow, you know?
It is, isn't it? So let us take this moment to first of all say thank you to all of the incredible people who have put their blood, their sweat and tears into creating this, into turning this vision into a possibility. So first of all, thank you so much to all the people that built this incredible stage, to the production for putting on this amazing show, to the broadcast talent for telling the stories, and to the players for competing so fiercely week in, week out. Thank you.
Mesdames et messieurs, est-ce qu'on peut applaudir toutes les personnes qui ont rendu ce spectacle possible depuis le début de ces 7 semaines, s'il vous plaît? La production, dont il vient de citer. But Barney, there is one other, like, thing, not really things, but one more thing we have to say thank you. We have to say thank you to you, to everyone who is watching esports, to everyone reaching us here in the Gadia City Grids. I mean, the fans was insane, and we are all doing it for you because you are watching it. So please make some noise for you, mesdames et messieurs. Faites du bruit pour vous. Merci beaucoup à tous les fans qui rendent cet événement possible. We are doing all of this for you as well.
And so, as we approach the final moments here of the Fortnite Reload Championship, remember what you were part of here in Paris, and let's go out with a bang.
Maybe it's the last game, so people, are you ready?
I am here with 2 legends of the French scene. We got Leo the Crack, one of my favorite streamers. We got professional player Akira. Mumsy and Skyjump are the team right behind Teeny and Shark. They're the team that could catch them. Your former teammates, you've played with them. What do you have to say to them to motivate them?
Ces gars-là, c'est des bosseurs. Ils ont travaillé très dur. Donc les gars, faut les encourager à max. Allez, allez, allez!
You said they're grinders, they work hard, we have to get behind them. Leo, you know I like to hype a crowd up every once in a while, but these are your people. Every time Skyjump and Mumsy have done well, it's because this crowd has gotten behind them. So I want you to get this crowd ready for this next game.
Ok. Déjà, merci à tous d'être venus, de soutenir la maison ou de soutenir d'ici. On a la chance d'avoir 4 joueurs exceptionnels. On a Mumsy, Skyjump qui sont à la 2e place. Ils sont à rien de pouvoir gagner. Je veux vraiment que vous donnez tout pour eux. Jusqu'au bout. Jusqu'au bout, les mecs. Allez!
It's time to see whether match point will be hit or whether Teeny and Shark will run away with it. Over to the casters.
The stage is set after 8 incredible matches of Fortnite here at the Esports World Cup 2026. We are on match number 9 with Shark and Teeny from Aurora Gaming being the first and only team here on match point.
If we don't see half the lobby dropping wherever Shark and Teeny are headed, there is going to be some devious gameplay afoot here, Jacob, because even if they make it out of the off-spawn position, the likelihood that they don't just get constantly cut off by other teams looking to try and prevent them from having any sort of a spark for this final lobby. Already Dirty Dogs heating up pretty heavily here. Chino, Pablo making their presence known. Khan on the ropes trying to see if he can escape, but there is no out. Chino will get credit for his first here. And they're still waiting.
Wow, no
They
Peter
want
Butt,
more.
no
Muzz and Spinks, though,
top team
finally
lane on
getting
Zod. Okay.
not having to deal with Sharkatini, but there's Chino
Guy
right
with
after
the
fact.
out rail.
He just walked in there, saw both of them.
Wow.
Oh, I may have made a mistake. Just bet one too many feet forward on that one. Muzz and Sphinx going to do a good job of taking him down. You see Teeny towards the background, unbothered so far. So I don't think there's too much attention being drawn their way. And that's the decision, honestly, a lot of the teams in today's competition will have to make. If Shark and Teeny are in a position to win the game, everybody else has to decide, is it worth throwing my game away to take them down just in the hopes of us going to a match 10?
One thing's evident, Hari and Cammy know that they are on the cusp of achieving that match point status. They are banking on being able to attain it in this lobby because you don't have many other options when you already have a duo that's on that match point, period. So for Hari, Cammy, every single elimination, every single 3 points that they can build further and further up, it just makes it all the easier to try and prevent Shark and Teeny for as long as they can from bringing home that championship trophy.
And you see Shark already going for an early game fight onto Z-Dog. A huge advantage already swinging his way. You see the slap splash is trying to come out for Z-Dog. Shockwave as well, but he's going to get caught out either way. But it's Sky Jump and Momsy who steal that elimination away. And even though they still have to wait for this game to finish, they are 11 points away from now being on match point. Taco, that's less than 4 eliminations.
And Sky Jump and Momsy, big part of the reason why they're here so early. They know this is Shark and Teeny, but with that shield crack, they're going to immediately look for the follow-up here. If they can secure the eliminations onto Sky Jump, it's going to force Momsy to play further back. Shark, Teeny get the one. Momsy will be able to escape for right now, but he still has to try and avoid going out anytime soon. Skyjump should realistically be able to bring himself back into this one, but it is a tough blow to make that kind of aggressive run. Respect the vision, but they might need to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, and at least it was Momsy who was not only able to stay alive, but you see him finding some med kits, knowing that's probably going to overstay their welcome deep into the zone. But if you kind of get a picture of the minimap, there's not too many teams on the outskirts just yet. There might be solos floating around, but for Skyjump and Momsy, for now, it should be relatively safe as we continue to look around the lobby. 2 eliminations to start this game for Vico and Malibuca. They too need a resurgence here outside the leaderboard, but they are only around 24 points away as it stands. So they still need a couple more eliminations, or honestly, just to make it inside of the top 10 or so.
Bit unfortunate right now, though, for Z-Dog and Goofy. Ever since those initial eliminations that Z-Dog has suffered, Mumsy Skyjump definitely taking advantage of it. Creeping closer and closer towards that match point threshold. But even if they achieve it, they still have to play at least one more lobby. So it's about making it there and then preventing Shark and Teeny from having any level of success. And the problem is, Jacob, is that from second all the way down to 8th place, where Deemish and Darm entered this match 9 at 260 points, realistically speaking, there is a chance for all of these teams to potentially catapult themselves into that match point threshold. I'm not ignoring the fact that we have seen Deemish and Darm throw up 18 match eliminations with a victory royale. That's enough to overcome the distance.
Yeah, it's just the further down that leaderboard you go, it's almost a win needed scenario. If you wanted to be on match point after this one, join the likes of Shark and Teeny, the only team to be on pace. Peterbot Poyo needed roughly 87 points throughout the course of this game from here on out. Go ahead and land on match point. It could be through eliminations, it could be through winning the game. Definitely have given themselves options, but they've kind of fell below the curve, or at least where you would think a team like this caliber would stand, especially since they're playing for the Falcons and the club championship as well. You can kind of see a little bit of a different approach to this game. Not as many kind of fights going down, 50-50s, solos just kind of get points. It just kind of seems like it's a little bit more calculated this time around.
Hey, Vico felt very confident that that last lobby was going to be the immediate match point threshold secured. And after they got eliminated so early on, Malabuka probably told them snap back to reality and lock in, because everyone else is catching up at a rapid rate here as Swizzy and Pixie looking to try and bring down Falcons, Peterbot, and Poyo, but they will fall back momentarily. They had them a little bit on the run there though, but they're just seemingly more preoccupied with not getting caught out in any other third-party intervention. It's a smart idea to create a little bit of space here. But for Pete and Poyo, kind of readdressing the whole club championship series, that elimination feed already lit up with Sky and Scroll's names. As long as Peterbot and Poyo can maintain staying inside of the top 8 here, they will be able to contribute towards those club championship points and just help Falcons stay nestled inside of that first place position for the weekend overall.
Yeah, just kind of looking at the leaderboard, it does look like Sky and Scroll have been eliminated out of this game as well. HEAL just having a rough day, but we've seen Sky and Scroll have big comes back before, and I would think today could possibly be no different, but you still got a big team standing in your path. Shark and Teeny, who have seemed to have let the dust settle. They're not in any desperate situations like you see some others already at this stage of the game. Acorn and Bolts lurking around top side of Steamy. They're already inside of the zone. They're just waiting for somebody to make a mistake.
Problem right now, though, for a duo like Faded and Khan is they're having to depend pretty heavily on securing some big elimination points. 3 duos having already been eliminated from this match 9 just means that that end game might not be so topsy-turvy after all. We might see it thinning out at a much faster rate here in comparison to a lot of these past matchups, but more specifically, Peterbot and Poyo and everyone else inside this top 8 period of the leaderboard, they're just going to be looking to shut down. The moment that Shark or Teeny light up that elimination feed, it's just going to be the green light for everyone else to try and follow up and collapse.
And I think Shark and Teeny as of now still way over in Dirty Docks. We might not see them for a little bit. 5th zone, this is where you typically see teams start to play a little bit safer. They don't want to get knocked. They don't want to get eliminated. Kind of get put in a blender, being forced to figure out how I'm going to make it to the next stage of the game. But for Skyjump and Momsy, rotating through Slurpee Swamp, you know they don't need to go ahead and use too many of their own resources. A lot of barrels that they can go and replenish the HP, the shield, anything that they need. They just need to be very, very aware, careful of how many other players are rotating in and around their current position.
At a bare minimum, 3 eliminations would guarantee that match point. So even if they should stumble here in game 9 and find themselves wiped out of the lobby entirely, so long as they cross 350 points, everything else is kosher. But then they are also depending on somebody else in the lobby to stop Shark and Teeny in their tracks and not allow that Victory Royale to break through.
And now we finally get to see where everybody is at. A decent spread for the most part, but the zone forcing players all the way toward the west, just below Steamy stacks. So a lot of time to still get in position. It's like Hari and Cammy, you see they're not too far away, but they are close by, basically rotating parallel to Vico and Malabuka. They got a hint of where another team is at, but I'm not sure Vico and Malabuka felt the same. But with the elevation of that bridge, they might be able to get a bird's eye view onto them slowly rotating into the zone.
Malabuka, Vico, too many whites to play with. They'll be able to full heal before they opt to utilize that launch pad and make their way closer towards that edge of zone. Teeny, Shark, recognizing the fact that they were going to need to go cross-country for this one based on how this zone is pooling over across that western side of the map. Now it's just about making sure that they don't get snuck up on by another team already kind of lying in the wings here. Salva, Yasin could be the ones to put them down potentially. Shot's not going to connect there onto Teeny just yet, but pressure's on. Everyone else looking up onto these rooftops, but Shark and Teeny, they'll be able to hold their own for right now.
Yeah, I don't think anybody knows it's them just yet, but that would have been a good shot and a good moment to capitalize. Kind of take the only match point team out of the game, guaranteeing we at least go to a match 10, but they're going to stay alive, so the threat is looming around every one of these corners still. Peterbot and Poyo slowly but surely making it in. Right in the center of the zone so far. relatively even ground outside of the south side of the map where Logjam Lodging is actually at, and that's where Teeny and Shark have already positioned at.
Malabuka, Vico, also somewhat local to where Shark and Teeny are located currently, but Pete and Pollo, they need a big moment here in Game 9.
Why the fuck?
A victory royale would certainly be the cherry on top, of course, but it's NA's last hope currently, right Jacob. Things are looking a bit dire right now because Cammy, Hari, Vico, Malabuka, Skyjump, Momsy, every single one of them at least being across that 300 points spot to begin with, they're just going to have that much more feasible of a time of actually securing match point in advance.
Tough spot to be in if you're Skyjump. It's not over just yet. Momsy will at least have a chance to try to get back in the game, but he is definitely being put on the clock. Skyjump just kind of looking for any bit of resources. He's at a decent amount of distance between him and the next closest team, but that position's going to be given away. Momsy rebooting right back on in. You got a couple teams trying to go ahead and fire off in the distance, but not taking the green light just yet. But it does look like Vico and Malabuka, they might be trying to take the bait. They know somebody in there has absolutely nothing to their name. Shark and Teeny seeing it all play down as well. They're putting pressure down from above. And this is right after getting these eliminations, getting that knock on to Momsy, just making it tougher and tougher for their closest competition because Vico and Malabuka have just fallen as well.
And Vico, Malabuka, they needed this lobby. They know that now their fate is going to rest in the control of what Shark and Teeny are able to accomplish. The frustration is obvious, but for Shark and Teeny, you can't just go on autopilot. You can't just think that it's a guarantee, it's a lock, because they still need to get the win. And who loves to play spoiler to that more than Peterbot and Pollo?
I'm not sure if they got the clue. If they got a memo, that's them underneath. That is the biggest threat to everybody in this lobby. Peterbot and Pollo, Team Falcons have positioned themselves accordingly, even getting a bit of information on Skyjump, Momsy, Kanata, and Victor B. The only other NA team inside of the top 10 thanks to that victory royale, but they just lack a little bit of attention there. Shots coming in from the side. Peterbot's shield gets dropped just like that.
That last mammoth shot had connected, though, onto either Shark or Teeny. Maybe would have seen the tide start to shift, a little rocking of the boat here. Cold Rapid under a lot of pressure currently, though, but Pete, he's still not super healthy. Pollo's actually going to end up finding the bulk of the lobby focus, but Cold and Rapid just alongside them cannot avoid all of this suppressive fire. Cold will be claimed for it, and the lobby just continues to victimize some of these teams.
That combat SMG is just so daunting when it's spraying into your box. Yamzo tries to go for a quick play, but he has to abandon ship. Peterbot doing a good job of just kind of closing the covers, trying to be as rare as possible. Placement points have not even started to set in, and he's one of two solos.
Momsy and Skyjump, Shark and Teeny. Momsy and Skyjump,
Someone
one of the few teams still remaining in this lobby that could potentially be neck and neck with Shark, but do they realize just how close their #1 opposition actually is? They're not ready to commit just yet to any sort of fight. Peterbot, on the other hand, he's just looking for any kind of refresh that he can muster up. Goofy not going to be the first one to go down, though. Pete still trying to chase him out. He knows this is solo v solo right now. My best chance at coming up big time, and yet he'll be forced to depart and just sit and wait from the backside of the zone.
Yeah, it just gets tougher because he has to build there to protect himself, leaving with only one piece left. Peterbot right now hoping for some sort of blessing as he's lurking right behind. That's Khan, that's faded. There's a whole nother team towards left. He's definitely trying to give himself options. Momsy, Skyjump, finding some extra loot down below. 3 different med kits. That's not only going to allow for Momsy to heal up here, but possibly stagger himself back later in this same game.
Momsy needs every little bit of HP that he can get, though, because single shot, that's all it takes for Disaster to strike. Only 5 points away from hitting that match point threshold, but Peterbot has fallen. That's going to be Falcon's duo no longer in the mix up here, as now Shark and Teeny have been isolated, looking down, trying to see if they can get some pressure onto Pixie, but adamant as ever to watch overhead, trying to make sure that nobody else is going to overcross them and overtake. They want the high ground more than anything else.
Yeah, but Skyjump Momsy only 2 points away from being being on match point in the next game, but they also have to
If
bring
no one
it
takes
to a
it,
next
they don't
game.
fall.
Shark and Teeny are now on high ground. The only match point team are now positioning themselves to end it here in 9 games.
We've seen this so many times already this weekend for Shark and Teeny, Momsy and Skyjump. If you're gonna get activated, it has to be right now. Shark and Teeny cannot afford to be left to their own devices here on height, because we already know just how commanding they are when it's in their control. Fukun and Minifio starting to be forced even further down into the dirt. All the while, Shark and Teeny, the world is their oyster. Finally, they'll get chopped, but they already managed to prevent any sort of fall damage off the Flowberry Fizz.
Shark Teeny, they were able to catch himself. That's huge. Fizz, Shockwaves, they regained their composure up above.
Yes,
even
the
with
team
Goofy
too
going
good.
down, placement points setting in. There's more
Fuck.
teams looking to join them on match point, but they have to figure out a way to force another game, because Shark and Teeny looking up and contested up until now. Another team goes up. Shark dropped to 37 HP.
There's
Teeny's
no
going to
fucking
fall.
way.
Shark needs to be the savior here for his team. He has to stay alive. It's Swizzy, it's Pixie. They're the ones that are looking to
may
bring
be
us to
helping out
another
the team.
game.
Swizzy and Pixie might have just saved his entire tournament here, because Shark, even though he's still alive, Jacob, he's just so hurt. Only 10 bits remaining in this Flowberry Fizz. He has to siphon anything that he can get, but Pixie and Swizzy, another one onto Romero. Salvo will also fall. They are racking up the points. Shark can't get the shot to line up. Skyjump and
Yep,
Momsy
another
just
game.
lost the threshold. We're gonna see a game 10.
Wow, wow, wow. Hopefully you guys at home didn't have anything to do today, because we have a long road ahead. Hari's here trying to play for that match point as well. 339 points. He wants to be one of 3 teams to try to make it there in this next game. Swizzy and Pixie as well. Ton of points left, but Hari's dream of being on match point is cut short by Josh and Iamzo.
These guys have been playing spoiler for the past few matches, it seems like, and they're not intending on slowing down. Yasin also gonna be claimed, as now frontside control is purely at their favor, but Swizzy, Pixie, they're ready to drop. They've already gotten the connection. Darn's gonna be pieced apart the moment he tries to go forward, but Swizzy lost so much HP along the way. Iamzo and Josh, they're trying to send it.
They absolutely shred the HP and shields of Team Havoc. And it's Elite down below, 2v2 situation. Resources for both teams are dwindling. Big shot from Swizzy on the side. That's gonna take down Josh. Iamzo with a 1v2. There goes the first knock, and it's him versus the world. Swizzy versus Iamzo, 15 HP, and it's not going to be enough. Iamzo closes it out.
It doesn't matter what's happened in the past, because the future is
Wait,
now.
only one team
Josh
still have
and
match points?
Iamzo desperately needed
Someone had to
this.
lane on
It's not
start
going to
the
put them
time.
into
No
that
way,
match
no
point
one lane
threshold,
on then.
but they
I
might
think.
just get a chance. We saw everything crumble for Shark and Teeny, and I would anticipate a very similar fashion, Jacob, for everyone else that is currently sitting on match point, aka Skyjump and Momsy, 2 different duos, public enemy #1.
We haven't seen too many teams go up and actually contest the high ground. We haven't seen too many fights in the last 4 days when it comes to Fortnite on the high ground. But Shark and Teeny on match point, the lobby felt the pressure that they were in, and they executed to take them out. And now we have 2 teams on match point.
But man, kudos to Pixie and Swizzy. They made it close. For a moment, it looked like that could have gone a different way entirely, but just getting a chance to even break through what Iamzo and Josh are going on.
Then you're back, I'm going up.
No, I died.
Cornered?
He has Siphon, I think.
Nice!
Calm, cool, collected. Good information. Say, hey, he might have Siphon, might have more HP than you would think in that situation, but Iamzo, nonetheless, with a huge HP and shield advantage, of course, closes that one out. He's a little bit of a distance away, but not only securing a little bit more prize money if the tournament ends now,
I feel like
getting
Peter
that much
Pat's
closer to hopefully being on match point.
No, they definitely
Such
needed that,
intriguing.
because the Victor Royale points alone
And
are
my
going to
Wi-Fi
really
acting up,
help
but they're
swing
laughing.
them, have much more favorability in terms of just getting close towards that match point threshold, because At this stage, Hari Kami, they're also sitting right at 342 points. They're not trying to watch Skyjump and Momsy or Sharkantini walk away with this one, and neither is Vico or Malabuka, Lewa and Romero, Darm, Demish, all teams sitting between 320 to 326 points. And as the competition continues to tighten up with the match point threshold standings, everyone that's not necessarily in that position, why not just look to be agents of chaos? This is one of the few formats, Jacob, where it is very rewarding for teams that have been left behind to get an advantage so late into the game because they don't have anything to lose and everything to gain. But we'll have to see what happens here after everything that we've already witnessed. So make sure you guys go grab a quick refreshment and we'll be right back.
We were there. For every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind,